On May 21st, 2011, the fifth Watcher was raptured. This previously recorded video was found in his archives.
This has been a long time coming, but I finally got a sound off on a guy known as Richard Dawkins. For some ungodly reason, I decided to start reading the God Delusion just to challenge myself. Get it? Ungodly reason? Well, I started coming into problems that I had with his arguments as soon as the foreword in the paperback edition. One of his most popular claims, one you'll see repeated often on YouTube in clips of him speaking and in other people reiterating the argument, is that me personally, I am a Christian because I was born in the United States, and you're a Christian because you were born in a place where Christianity is also the predominant religion, and so forth with all the religions. But apparently, Richard Dawkins ought to stick to biology. And I know some of my atheist brothers out there agree with me. Give me a shout out. I know you're there. I've talked to you. And just for the record, to those atheists who do subscribe to the Richard Dawkins newsletter, a biologist is to be expressly trusted and cited when it comes to matters of biology. He is not a theologian. He is not an ancient historian. He doesn't know these issues as well as, scholars of those related fields would. He needs to stick to biology because apparently he hasn't considered one thing. It can go both ways. There are actually several countries with a predominantly atheist population. Yeah, that's right. 2 countries. Apparently the most atheist country ever is Estonia, which is interesting because I had been led to believe it was Sweden, but apparently it's Estonia, and Sweden's about on par with its atheists versus believers. Although, for clarification, apparently in Sweden, a large number of people believe in some sort of creator, but nothing specific to any one religion. But yes, an atheist born in Estonia would be subject to the same argument. They are only an atheist because they were born there. If they were born in wherever, they would also be a Christian or whatever if they were born in America, making that argument essentially meaningless. But that's not even the real flaw with it. The real flaw with it is, believe it or not, there are people in countries in which the religion is predominantly Christian. For example, United States of America. There are people that were raised Christian and then grew up and changed their mind and became an atheist. There are all kinds of these people. There's probably people like that watching this video. That's what Richard Dawkins' argument fails to take into account. People can reassess and change their mind. Now, while it is probably most certainly true that there are many people who were raised Christian, never thought twice about it, and remain so their entire lives, that doesn't mean we're necessarily locked into being a Christian just because of where we were born. And of course, this goes for any religion. But for example, when I grew up, this is my personal story of why I'm a Christian. When I grew up, I was indeed a Christian, but sort of a lukewarm Christianity, where we went to church a lot when I was younger, but then we essentially stopped going because we couldn't really find a good church, more or less, and I think we had what I might consider some bad experiences with churches, which sort of led to some fallings out. Now, yeah, go figure. The church, not so good. And that is a conversation for another day, but what did happen is when I got older, I started becoming very interested in the makings of Christianity and the things behind it, and debate and so forth. Because at this point I started to reassess my belief. I came across many atheist sort of arguments, and I was like, whoa, if that's true, that pretty much destroys my faith. And a lot of times I would go and search those things and find out, oh, that's not exactly true, or there's another side to it, and things like that. And in doing so, I found my Christianity, my religion, to be perfectly defensible. Yeah, I definitely discovered some new facts, changed my mind about certain things, and my faith certainly evolved, but nevertheless, the core remained the same, and it remained strong. No, on second thought, it didn't even remain strong. It was renewed. Like, I was kind of apathetic at some point there. And I don't know about y'all, but when I went to reassess my religion, I was looking through the Bible, and I was like, whoa, this Jesus guy, this guy's good. That's pretty much what kept me a Christian, despite all the BS you see on behalf of modern Christians, fundamentalists, the churches, and all these other Christian entities, Rush Limbaugh, you name them, that give Christianity a bad name, they can't go back and undo the words of Jesus. And those are good words. The vast majority of Christians would do well to better follow in his footsteps. However, the point is, I did reassess, and I'm a different kind of Christian today than I was when I was growing up. I could have chosen to leave the religion. A lot of people have. I also studied other religions and decided that I also like Taoism. It's very similar to Christianity, at least in terms of Jesus' teachings, actually. Interesting thing about Taoism is there is literally no contradictions between the teachings of Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, and the teachings of Jesus. They're completely compatible, and they talk about a lot of the same subjects. And if those two had tea together or something, I'm sure they would have a very good conversation. So while I am predominantly considering myself a Christian, of course, I also am a 100% Taoist in terms of Lao Tzu's teachings, because I agree with him on pretty much everything, and he's got good insights. So I'm also a Taoist. Thing is, I wasn't one when I was growing up, and guess where Taoism is popular? It's popular in China, and it's not even that popular in China. So apparently there are exceptions to your rule, Mr. Dawkins, and you don't really offer defense for those. Now, it's basically an argument just designed to make you feel a little less special for choosing this specific religion that you subscribe to. But the thing is, who really cares about being special? That's not what it's about. If it was about being special, then you'd be the most obscure religion possible. I can also already hear some of you saying, well, it's still statistically more probable that you're a Christian in a Christian nation than in a nation where it's India, for example, where you'd probably be a Hindu. And yeah, that's true. But once again, you're ignoring before you try to fall back just in the same argument that you've subscribed to without really thinking about, is you're still ignoring that choice that we always have to re-examine our belief structures. Some people don't take that choice, whatever, but it's there, and anyone can take it at any time. Now, for those troll-type atheists who come here to prejudge me, I'm actually going to prove you right for once. I'm going to go ahead and burn the God Delusion on camera. Yes, that's right, a good old-fashioned Christian book burning. Let's burn the books that I don't agree with. Sounds like a plan, right? Unfortunately, this means burning my roommate's Kindle. He'll get over it. Okay, it's late, and I gotta tell you, burning that Kindle, that took a while. Like, I could have built a fire and just placed it in there, and it would have taken less time than it did to burn that entire Kindle with that lighter. It's ridiculous.
Oh, look, my Kindle. He must have had it before he was raptured. Oh my God, it's burned to hell. That motherfucker.